was having trouble with Discord. It's giving me a hard time. So, all right. Good evening. Hope you guys had a solid trading day. Today was definitely one solid day trade from Tesla. So, gonna give people a few minutes here. I'm gonna send out a couple of alerts, and then we're gonna go ahead and go live all across the board. Alrighty. 1 second. What's up? Good evening. Good evening.
How to quick coffee.
Oop.
It feels
I don't want a quick coffee.
and
I
inconvenient,
love it.
which is why we created.
Nope. All right. Sorry about the delay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get to it. Let's go ahead and hit the news. I had to run a quick errand. Ended up taking the majority of my time. But let's go ahead and get to it. So again, I hope you guys had a great trading day. We're going to go ahead and recap the overall headlines, earnings, economic data, and all that good stuff. So we saw 9 out of 11 sectors closed green, which was nice to see. Healthcare led with 1.91% to the upside. We also saw materials, which was one of the few that was down, and that was down 0.58%. Hold on, I'm just trying to look at my own stream here on TikTok. What's up, Baba's Next Wish? I can get down with that. I can get down with that. All right. Sorry, I had to pull up the other stream. There we go. There you go, TikTok. Alex, dude, where you been? I love you too, dude. Hope you're doing all right. All right. So S&P up 1.19%, the Nasdaq 0.86%, the Russell 0.35%, and the Dow Jones 1.34%. In economic news, the global PMI survey showed that the U.S. business activity contracted for the fourth straight month. Unfortunately, European businesses didn't fare much better, reporting the steepest output since April 2013. Open letters are popular these days, with Meta shareholders writing one to the company saying it needs to stop spending. Funny. They've got earnings tomorrow. Am I on any other platforms? Yes, I am on YouTube right now, Simple Stacks Investments. The link is in the bio. Beyond Meat is rolling out a steak substitute while they have a lawsuit about their meat substitute. Anyway, another day. Another day. Another Credit Suisse. Swiss headline: the Swiss bank continued to clean up its business, paying 234 million to end the French tax probe. Philips shares continued the rout after the multinational conglomerate announced plans to cut 5% of its workforce. And in electric vehicle news, investors outlooking Hyundai's substantial profit due to U.S. EV concerns, while Toyota is considering changing its EV approach based on Tesla manufacturing strategy. And Tesla, the company, cut its China prices up by 9% as the competition heats up. Yeah, I'm on YouTube as well. I'm actually going to bring that around town. Thank you guys. If you guys don't mind, like it up, tap your screen. If you guys are gamers, you guys know what to do. Let me see that thumb work. Shouty. All right. So, some of the best headlines that I've read. So Chinese stocks go ba 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 bye, which is a corny ass headline. But Chinese stocks are again on the rocks after tumultuous end to the week-long National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party. The event occurs every 5 years in the public venue for top leadership changes in the CCP and the formal event for changes in the party's constitution. Essentially, In other words, it's a big event. The main thing is people were focused on the former President Hu Jintao's dramatic escorted exit from the event's closing ceremony. This sparked much speculation about what's happening. It shows President Xi Jinping is solidifying his party power in the party and hold on the country. But of course, some of the things that he laid out, including several key economic indicators, which added to the uncertainty, overall political uncertainty and concern over the country's economic, had added to the sentiment that China's market is uninvestable, which I've been saying for a long time. Thank you guys. I need to turn this off. Hold on one second. All right. All right. And of course, those are far too bright. All right. All right. I'm hoping that will allow some of you guys on TikTok to see a little bit better. I'm going to border these up like so. All right. So sorry about that. That just had to change the lighting in here. Uh, Lad, when is GDP? We're going to go over that in just a second. So, going over, of course, we saw a British Prime Minister mess, but going over tomorrow. So we need to start looking forward to tomorrow. We've got the economic data. We've got consumer confidence at 10 a.m. We do have HPI month over month and composite 20-year HPI year over year. That is at 9 o'clock. And then we do have FOMC Waller speaking as well. And then as far as GDP, I believe that is Thursday at 8:30. Yes. What's up? Good evening, everybody. Okay, so that is the economic calendar as far as our earnings. We are going to be kicking it off big time Tuesday. We got Visa, BXP, Microsoft, Google, take your pick, Spotify, Cleveland Cliffs, 3M. So tons of companies reporting 130. Then we pick up on Wednesday, going into Thursday, where we die down a little bit on Friday. That is it. So today I want to do a really quick recap on, and I'm going to actually post this recapping today. Oops. All right. I just wanted everybody to, and if you guys are on TikTok, remember YouTube's going to be the best way to view this. So, a couple of things here. I want to recap today's trade mostly because obviously I've been getting a couple of questions and just curious as to why I did what I did or when I entered when I did. So we're going to go over that right now. And if I can find it. All right, so number one, and I signaled for Tesla at around 11:46. So that was right about here, right before we ended up breaking. And this is just goes down to the simple, you guys, I talk about it all the time. And when I see it, I jump on it. I don't hesitate because now what I have is I have a solid stop loss and I have a solid entry, right? And so what I'm focused on here, and this is where I entered. So we'll mark that entry right here. So this is 11. Yep. So right about there. We entered into that trade, or I entered into the Tesla 220 calls, which those closed at around 5.9, but they were around 6.7. And we bought those contracts at about 385. And one of the reasons that I took the trade that I did, all right, so this is really going to simplify things for everybody. Okay. When we broke down this morning, right, we fell. And this goes down to the basics, right? This goes down to everything that I've taught you guys, as for if you guys have been here. Candle closes. Candle closes, right? So an hourly candle, look at these candle closes. Look what happens when those candles close on that support. That's 203. And this reached all the way down to, and I said it this morning almost to the penny. 198.50 was my target below 200. We bounced. We held a 15-minute candle. We ended up obviously closing right there with that almost near hammer. But on that hourly candle, I knew that that was where I needed to go ahead and dive in and start looking for an entry. This is incredible because when you see a whole hourly candle and you're patient, this is exactly the type of trade that you can have or that you can find. Um, so it's simple. We open up, we fall, right? So we open up here. I told people this morning, you either need to hold 207, anywhere below 207, you're probably going to go to 203. If you break 203, you're probably going to hit 200 and 198.50. You close your candle back on top of that area that buyers are in control of consistently. That's why it's marked green. That's a buy. That is a metric ass ton of money that is put into this stock to make sure that it continues to rise. Um, thank you, Ghost. Could you tilt TikTok down just a tear or just a hair? But yeah, you got it, buddy. Hold on. I'm trying to. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, make sure to tap your screen, do 4.4K likes. Sheesh. All right. So that's it. That is it. Now, where did I get my target from? You guys already know the answer to that question, and that's the gap, right? That's the gap. That's it. Now, the target today, and again, I typed all of these targets out. My targets were 207, and above 207, I was looking for 214. And now I got 213.50. I TP'd, I bought 10 contracts. I TP'd 3 at my first target. I TP'd 1 at the next, and I TP'd another 3. So right now the trade is paid for. We were up. A lot of those contracts were around 100%. And I'm looking for the remainder of that gap fill tomorrow. And I actually really, really like the setup on in extended hours, and I'll show you guys exactly why. Remember yesterday I was talking about the mouth, right? The mouth of any type of, so this could end up being a reversal pattern right there. So tomorrow, watch for either A, Tesla to be down around 209. If that's the case, I will double down and put weeklies into the gap fill trade, and I'll be targeting 215 on the dot. And that's it. And again, the entirety of the gap would be all the way to 221.45. And you best believe with the expiration that I have currently, right, I am going to continue to hold one of those original entries at 203. And I'm going to hold it. Why am I going to hold this? Right? You're nuts. No, this is, again, I can't predict the future. This could be the retest before the dump. But at the end of the day, we spent all of this time reclaiming this level, right? All of this time reclaiming this level. And the majority of bounces and reclaims of 207.50 lead to a move back up to areas like 220, 221, and of course 225. Now, I also have a trend set up here, starting from our swing high and moving down to our low. I do see a confluence at 224.85. So this could take the remainder of the week But right now, we're just going to try and get at least 50% of the gap fill here. I feel like I know how to trade, but I don't buy into them and miss out. That's probably because you don't know where to. You gotta have a plan. Gotta have a plan. All right. So that's it. You guys saw today I avoided trading Meta, and I think for a good reason. This one just did not provide it provided a gap fill, double gap fill actually. So good pop on Meta. But as far as continuation, Tesla was the W there. So skipped out on Meta. It's got earnings. And then MRO. So let's take a look at MRO. New highs today, guys. Absolutely a killer swing trade here to the upside. So um hold on, I need to adjust my phone. Fuck. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys now, here's where I gotta mention one thing. Okay. I told you guys when we entered, I think it was around the median here. And that was 2660, right? We had 100% trade to the upside. We had 100% trade to the downside. And at that point, we had mitigated almost all of our risk. And so holding on to some contracts or runners is you've paid for the trade, let it rip. And right now, MRO is doing exactly what the hell we want it to do. And so I'm still aiming for $31 on MRO. So if you guys are in or watching or looking for a re-entry, either A, we get a pullback to two, and right now the stop loss is 2867. That's where we need to stay above. There is a possibility due to this trend that we could see a pullback tomorrow, and it could form some type of channel or wedge to the upside. So, what happened? I accidentally hit the wrong button. I went to go and enhance it, but I ended up closing it. I ended up closing the whole TikTok app. All right. Again, so MRO looking for a move up, $30.27. I'll trim again, but we'll go ahead and go over that tomorrow morning. With that being said, if anybody has any request on TikTok or YouTube for any stocks, if you guys have a trade that you're looking at, crushed it yet. I do have fake accounts on TikTok, unfortunately, Tom. But markets did exactly what you said. Yep. Big Stepper had a great, in fact, Big Stepper, DM me really quickly, guys. Oh, actually, I can go back and tell you guys what he took. Today, I think he was watching Netflix. Yeah, he got Netflix, and he's one of our admins that scalps. Quick in and out. So if you guys are looking for entries, bounces, that's kind of what he does. But absolutely crushing those trades as well. Manny tag teaming that one as well with him. So, all right. What did you see the PCVX move? I didn't. That seems to have gapped up. So you must have been in it before it popped. But yeah, nice job. Okay. Yes, I am taking requests. If you guys are on YouTube, tap your screen. If you guys are on TikTok, you guys are fucking crushing it. Amazing. Thank you guys for tapping your screen as well. So I didn't roll any Tesla calls. I swung them. Rolling a contract is buying a contract with a further taking profit and using those profits and putting them into a longer expiration contract. All right. So first thing that we have is ABBV. Apple SQ Baba RTX. We're gonna do puts on PZVX could be a good one there. Yo, that's pretty interesting. Okay, so right now you had a big break for ABBV. It looks like, and it really doesn't matter, right? I don't care if where the trend is. But what I do care about is that you broke your downtrend. And not only did you break your downtrend, right? You broke out of this area, this zone. And it looks like the wall is right about there. Obviously, we could just box that in as a whole, but I like this area right there. But right there, so we bounced, and then we've seen a huge move up into this area, which is the 150 area. Um, Now, most of the time with any pattern like this, that's the type of reversal that you would be looking for. It is a 50% reversal, and you have a ton ahead of you as far as just consolidation or contraction or areas of contraction. So right now, looking at ABBV, so you actually did end up moving up into this floor. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is actually a relatively, as far as you guys know what high probability is to me. This is not, I don't like erratic candle closes where I can't find a solid price where candles are closing, and that basically will eliminate that trade. But what I can tell you is that 150 is a psychological number, and so is 151. And so you would need to break and hold, I think, above 150, 151 and 151.50 in order to see continuation of the upside. Although you do have earnings, and unless earnings already came out, sure looks like it did. But um, what are you doing, Thesis? Sketchy, dude. That's my cat. But you could just see with a flat out reversal or a move to the upside. If you ended up uh messing up on earnings, I would say you're right back down to 144. And they'll likely keep that in range. If you end up doing well on earnings, then I would have a target of around 155. So I really don't like ABB too much. I will say though, at the end of the day, there is a major gap to fill all the way up at 167. And as we know, this is a profitable company for the most part. Had one of those popular companies, so this could be a massive rounded bottom, and we could just see ABBB start moving up into new highs. And so that may be exactly what you're seeing at the moment. And then there looks like there's a pretty gnarly trend right there. Yeah, so not a bad look. But I will say that this high definitely offers an area of consolidation. So yeah, I would say that this one looks pretty good. All right. So the next one that we got is Spy. Spy looking for a rejection soon. So let's actually talk about that. So today on the and we're up against that weekly wick 379. But today, oops, we saw a can't. This is just ridiculous money, and this is why not as far as play, but it's just the technicals that we've found on this one, and just looking back, the markets did do exactly what I said, and that's not for me to brag. That's just what it did. I saw futures move up this way. I suspected that Spy would likely do the same, and Spy ended up hitting my target right on the dot. And unfortunately, this could end up being that reversal pattern. But the beautiful thing is, right? Anybody who's watching right now, the beautiful thing that I can rely on right now with SPY is that if you fall back into, right, the 378.60 area, I would be looking for a pullback to 375 and then back down to the confluence between the trend and our key level, which is 372.16. If you move below 372.16 and into the 370 area, I will aim for the gap and aim for 357 again. So now a technical pattern, right? Or key levels. In this case, this could be a bear trap, right? This could be a bear trap. But at the same time, it could be a bull trap. And we're at that area where you're building something bearish, but you're also looking pretty bullish. So I'm looking at the technical pattern. We will see if it respects it. But really, I'm going to actually post this chart in the Discord. So that way, those of you who want to recap on this will be in the PotterStocks channel. But this is a great chart. Not only do you have the solid levels, hold on right now. SOX if you want a kith. Working on it. And if you guys remember, I am live on YouTube. The link is in my bio. You're welcome to join there. Okay, so that's SPY. SPY looking pretty good. I'm gonna go move to the 4-hour here. You know, I thought about this, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But I thought that maybe there could be a megaphone that would set up here, and that would fake everybody out. But I don't like megaphones as far as. I'm actually going to tweet this out. What's going on, everybody? Good evening if you guys are just hopping in. Okay. Yeah, so SMH, por favor, Twitter, 99.99. Oh, I don't know about that by G. Okay. Tesla, or excuse me, SPY, LNT. Oh, never mind. Sorry. NVTA. Invite. Oh my God. All right. So I got to give the speech again. I don't have anything to offer a chart like this. I would be, this is where you need to go look at the float. You need to go look at the short interest. You need to start developing a more of a fundamental plan than anything else. Now, you got a huge liquidity pump. This is all the way to $8. Now you're at $2. They stole your money, and it looks like they're going to drive this potentially lower, and they're probably setting up this so that people start drawing patterns. But at the end of the day, this is probably toast. So, but yeah, man, I wish I had more to add for that. Who did I talk to about LMG? I don't know who I talked to about this, but I think I said that it had a weekly flag. Didn't I mention who did I test? Was it you? I called this. I don't remember. Maybe not like I didn't signal it, but I called for that pump there. Oh yeah, what a fucking beautiful rip. So I'm gonna call for LMT back into the $500 level potentially if it goes for new highs. This could end up channeling down where you end up creating a channel. But in my opinion, this one looks like it's moving well within the standard deviation channel. And if you closed up above previous highs and into or previous highs back into January 2020, but it looks like especially with the rise tensions and war and stuff like that, that we could see a movement to the 506.50. So did I do Microsoft this? No, but if I do Microsoft, You think earnings will make this a crazy week? I do. I do. I think it's going to be hard to swing trade, and that kind of stuff. So I need, you know what I need to do? I need to find a background color that shows up well on the stream, on the YouTube stream. So I think white washes it out. Get rid of the EMAs. Okay. All right. Yeah, man. This one looks great. Daily. You did close with a hammer. So as far as levels that you could potentially retest, right? Because above you, you got this. And this is just currently the zone that, you would probably want to hold in order to stay bullish. So 50% zone. So I would say maybe a pullback to around 445 would still keep you bullish. So you don't look doesn't look bad. Can you make a video on the basics of how to day trade with options? I have some pretty well typed out thing um, in the Discord. So if you want to hit the link in the bio, I've got a better breakdown there. So. All right, next one. Somebody said Microsoft. I'll go over Microsoft, but I want you to know one thing that it has earnings, and the one thing that I don't do is I don't do the earnings like I don't know where the fuck it goes, right? I don't know where this thing goes. But what I can tell you is where it could potentially go if things go really well and if things don't go really well, and if things end up being just barely okay. And so the areas that I'd be concentrated on, first of all, tomorrow, Microsoft is, hold on, let's see if that works a little bit better. Okay, so first of all, Microsoft closed inside of the zone above us, and the current floor is 247.25. That is where we are holding up at and where we've held up at before. And Microsoft really is giving off just perfect vibes as far as um, you know, levels, clear targets, etc., etc. The one thing that I again would like to point out, and I'm going to use extended hours here to show you guys, um, but Microsoft, along with everything else. So if you saw my analysis on anything, this is on SPY. This is essentially the same thing. So you basically have maybe as far as the extended hours setup, you maybe have a little bit more room up to 250. And so that's where I would say you could end up moving to tomorrow. But as far as anything else or earnings, I can't call it. So, yeah, strong dollar it could be an issue, but I think one of the other things to keep in mind is the previous guidance given on Microsoft, which I believe was the last time I checked, was definitely um, uh, they lowered it. They lowered guidance, and they really didn't have a sharp decline in revenue or anything like that. But you could see that. You could definitely see that affect earnings this go around. So I read that markets was supposed to be bearish this week, and SPY puts are smart. Where'd you write that? Earnings in this market is a 50-50 shot. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just how it is. Says Starboy. Thoughts on UPS? I'll do a Starboy request. Yeah, homie. Um, you dingus. No, it's fine. Um, so first of all, I just talked about this with everybody else. Perfect. Just fucking perfect area of consolidation. This is called contraction. And what you want to see after contraction, right, is expansion. Now, what we can go look at is look at the daily, find our trend, right? If it has one, because it may not have one. And I think I already see trend. Yeah, I do. I see trend on so check this out. That's money, dude. It's off a little bit. Okay, so the way that I'm looking at this right now, and I need, there we go. That's perfect. So zoom in a little bit further, based on trend, based on where support is currently in this downtrend, I would say UPS down to 144, 145 after earnings, which earnings are on the 25th. So if UPS does not do well and they absolutely fuck it up, I would say 144 or near that area. If they, because they have fallen so hard from that after earnings pump, um, if you ended up seeing some type of squeeze out, right? Go back above yourself, right? And I'm on YouTube right now if you need to see get a better look. Go back to previous price action and map it out, right? So right now I would look at this area above you right there. So you could end up back in the 188, the median here at 182.22, or in range, which would absolutely destroy premiums. So tomorrow is pre-market. Oh, they have earnings tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll just call it right now. Bad earnings on UPS, sub 50s. Decent earnings on UPS, maybe somewhere in this bottom area. On UPS, that's going to be below 182. And if some fucking miracle happens, which I just don't see that happening, you could see it back up around its trend. But personally, I think that UPS is probably being kept down for a reason. So, can I look at Ulta? Yeah, my G. We'll look at Ulta here in a second. Can I check Apple? I'm assuming that's what you mean. I can't. I don't even spell Apple correctly in the grocery store anymore. When I go to like self checkout, it's just a bad habit. But my son also eats like 3 apples a day, so I actually have like a legitimate Apple bill, and not like for technology. So the difference between the majority of the setups right now is this one doesn't have a wedge, but it does have a channel. I fucking, excuse my language, but I called this weeks ago. I just went on about my business with Tesla, the gap fill, right? I called for the 149.50 gap fill, and that's exactly what you did today. You got a solid gap fill. Wouldn't outlook be good for upcoming quarter? The outlook for UPS, UPS earnings to outlook. Is expected to report $2.84. Uh, I mean, they definitely have lowered expectations. Um, so it might and earnings per share, so they may be able to beat that. Um, let's see here. Um, I think that you could end up. Yeah, I don't know, man. UPS. I'm looking at future. Obviously, you have a big dump. I think the big dump is liquidity hunt, and then you get a Christmas rally with anticipation. Obviously, by UPS before Christmas because of Christmas. Um, but Cooper, thank you, man. I appreciate the gifts. I think that's what you just gave me. I'm not really sure. I wasn't looking. 8.4K likes. Thank you guys so much. All right, so SOXS. Daily semiconductor bear shares. So I can tell you already on the downside that this one has one of those bad boys as a wedge. Now let's go to the daily. And let's see what that wedge looks like. Okay, that looks more like a you're almost flagging, but you've got that sick looking wedge right there. So there could be just a hair more downside. Let me go back. We're not about to do some half-assed. Okay, so this is perfect. Check it out. So we'll delete that and zoom into this. Stay above that on SOX or get below that, below 60.60. I would anticipate a gap fill 54.24. If you hold that area, I would watch for a move above 71.50, and that would be likely where you could see new highs on SOXS. I did SPY already. It's on my YouTube channel. LSCC, Lattice Semiconductor. I saw somebody looking at that one. I forgot who it was. Looks like hot dog water. Uh, just kidding. Trend. It's your friend. All right, we're gonna adjust that just a little bit. So it's mathing. This math ain't mathing quite yet. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so looks like you're holding a downtrend really, really well. And I don't know about you guys, but that looks like a perfect fucking bear flag. Now that's just we just looked at SOXX or SOXS, right? And this now this could be a bear trap, right? Because we talked about that, but this appears, and we're gonna go back to regular hours. This appears to be a bearish setup. So perhaps tomorrow, watch 50-50. $50.50 to the upside. Maybe somewhere in there, 50-45. But I would be looking for I'd be looking for this to continue the downside. And you've got earnings on October 31st. But this looks kind of bearish at the moment. But you need to know where. Now, that's not telling you that it is going to be bearish. It is showing you, right, that you're creating a bearish setup up against an area that you would need to break and hold in order to see continuation to the upside, period. And so that area for me would be you need to break and hold above 49.83 and truthfully really get above that 50-50 mark. And then I would be looking for a 51.60 target. Otherwise, if you reject this level, there is no further upside. So nice setup though, good clean bearish setup right here. So what's the yellow volume bars? The yellow volume bars are volume. What? Uh, the yellow line over the volume bars is a volume moving average. It's a 100-day moving average of volume. So its earnings are beat every quarter. Then I tell you what, you got a bearish setup going into earnings. Maybe they flip it and rip it. I would say the upside target for earnings would be $55. Netflix, guys, as soon as I see a request, so when you see me if you're strategic, if you see me getting to the end of a somebody's request, that's when you drop yours down. Obviously, I'm trying to get to everybody's. So we'll look at Netflix, and then we'll look at AMD. So this one, I really, this is just one of those swing trades that if anybody took, obviously you already had earnings. Personally, this one is falling in line with market price action. So I'm not exactly sure where support is. We're probably going to gap down to it. Let me go put extended hours on. Okay. So I would be maybe looking for one more pop up to maybe get around 296.50 or 295, somewhere in that range, 295.50 and 296.50. So that dollar range. that's where I'd be looking for a potential leg up. And that would be near, in fact, what did I say? Yeah. My target on Netflix has and continues to be was 288.50. And I just look at the candle closes right here, right at 289.60. So I was a dollar off on that. But that's 50% or near 50% of the gap above you could give another leg up. And I think that that 297 or 296 or 296 area could be that perfect 50% mark of the gap. So yeah, but just because it's in the gap doesn't mean it's going to hold the gap, you know. All right. So the next one we're going to look at is AMD. So I've been talking about this one as well. We talked about this one last night on Sunday. Again, another trend holder. You do have a bottom lower time frame trend right here, which you currently are building. And again, this is just contraction, expansion. The patient trader knows if he waits, she waits, that eventually, whomever waits, eventually they're gonna, it's gonna move, right? It's going to move. Right now, you have a low of 55.68 and you've got a high of $60. And that is really all you need to know because below you, I've got a target of right around I've got like 53 bucks. But you know, the longer you do this, the longer you could chop. And then of course, if we see a rebound in semiconductors, which I don't see that happening at the moment, if we were to see a rebound in semiconductors, there is a gap to fill above us. And I believe that is around it would have to be above 63.29. So at the moment, looks like you're kind of just toasted, man. One of the things that we like to see as buyers, right, is we like to see if there is a downtrend or some sort of trend. We want to be able to establish that that trend is being bounced up to, right? You're going to meet that trend. Notice how this trend, and I'll get rid of everything else, right? Notice how this trend right here is met flat. So based on just this lower time frame downtrend, right? Just that, I would speculate that you're probably going to be down in the $45 area for AMD. $45 area. That's to the downside. Upside, simple. I think you got filled. Mullen, you think Mullen has to hits $1 by the end of the week? I think I gave you this analysis last night, correct? 50% retracement of the wedge itself would be a move into that dollar area, but no, I don't think that happens this week. And in fact, this is not the kind of price action that you want to be holding in order to, I mean, you are holding what looks to be a flag here at the moment. It does appear that you have trend here. So I would say that if if you break your trend or if you end up into the 42-cent area, that you're probably going to see a big pullback to around 38 cents. So sorry about the camera angle there. Oh shit. You people can watch my video on TikTok now. No, you're a scammer. Yeah, that guy's a scammer page. Don't follow that guy. That's one of yeah. Oh, dude's a scammer. So, Tesla, Meta, Baba, QQQ. I've already done earnings. It's on my YouTube for uh motherfucking for Microsoft. So Right. We're getting down to the end of the stream here. I'll take some questions on TikTok in just a minute. I'll go ahead and take some last requests here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you guys on YouTube, those of you guys on TikTok, thank you guys for leaving likes. Very much appreciated. So, CRM falling along with the majority of the market. I can already tell you, my eyes have spotted this immediately. You got that wedge look in your eyes too. Now, wedges are not high probability setups. Remember this. So, we need to get that out of our mind, and we need to go and find our area of contraction. So, I'm going to go ahead and base it out right there. And looks like our ceiling is right there on the money. Okay, so CRM currently has a bearish setup up against resistance, right? And this is, obviously we need to go and double check that on the lower time frame, but you do have a bit of a bearish setup. I think that if anything, the majority of the time, if you're going to be faked out, if they're trying to trap bears, they're going to set it up like this. They're going to pull it back, and then they're going to squeeze it up and out and turn it into a channel. And I think that channel would likely be above 165. No, it's on Monday Recap, which is live right now. I've done Netflix already. It's on YouTube as well. MRO, AA, um, uh, I like Apple, QQQ. Those are good swing trade stocks. Commodities, materials, that kind of stuff. Healthcare, UNH. Christopher, there doesn't seem to be much space for it in the stock market, unfortunately. So yeah, CRM needs to break a daily candle and hold above 160, 150, and you have a gap fill to the upside at 165.30 that you would need to go and make happen. That would be my target up. And then if you fall back down anywhere below 157 or 156.75, I would be looking at a pullback to the 151 area. All right. All right, YouTube. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys very much. I'll go over Tesla really quick. For those of you guys on YouTube, I will answer a few more questions here on TikTok before I go ahead and call it lights out. But otherwise, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow morning. We do have, I am going to go ahead and close up. We only take a certain amount of new people every day or every month. And we're getting close to that cap. We got about like 15 spots left in the monthly. And of course, there are people who find out that they want more signals. They just, or they don't want to, day trade or whatever the case may be. And so, we'll open up more spots later on, but just throwing that out there. And the new prices are posted on Simple Stacks Investments. And that is only for people who are ready to take trading seriously. This is not a signal chat. We do put signals out, but we are trying to teach you why we took these trades and what we were thinking, what the strategy was behind it, et cetera, et cetera. So, all right. So, sorry, Evan. For Tesla, today you broke and hold and you rejected your median, or at least part of that median. Tomorrow, I'm looking for a gap down, hopefully, and then a bounce up. If it doesn't gap down, it may end up gapping up to 215.50. If that's the case, I'll take profit and I'll probably go ahead and skedaddle out of that. So. Appreciate your presence here on TikTok. I work random hours and can't always see my charts. Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad I can help, dude. All right. And I will update you guys on Tesla. You guys know I trade it every day, so we'll go ahead and dig into that further a little bit later on. But we do have lifetimes. We did decide to open up lifetime memberships. So yeah, for sure. But you're stuck with us forever. All right. See you guys tomorrow on YouTube. Peace. Yeah, you could lower your so you're saying hopefully we gap down to lower our average when it bounces? No, that's not exactly what I'm saying. Hold on one second. We're gonna